Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Abby and this is the Stitch and Buffs channel. If you haven't seen us before, the Stitch and Buffs are me and my best friend. We are two aerospace engineers turned cross stitchers and embroiderers. We are absolutely obsessed with embroidery and cross stitching. I'm kind of the beginner of the group. My friend Sam, who you'll see a lot on this channel, is kind of the expert and she's the one that got me into it. So today I want to give myself a little bit of a challenge, something that will expand my horizons. I mostly do cross stitching, so I'm responsible for like all the cross stitching patterns, and I'm making this big family tree cross stitching thing right now, but I'm trying to branch into the world of embroidery as we continue this business. So I want to give myself a little challenge for today. So let me explain what I'm doing. Sam got these cute tote bags just on Amazon and I want to customize mine. So I recently went to New York to visit my cousin and I realized that like everyone in New York uses tote bags. I didn't really realize that was a thing before because like I live more in the suburbs, and so it doesn't really, I see tote bags a lot less. I always had them for like piano music or some very specific things, but everyone in New York was wearing a tote bag. Even all of the guys would just be in their suits, like go into their business meeting and then have a tote. So I was inspired to make a tote bag, and I really like the sort of minimalist design, having something kind of classy but just kind of small in as a customization. And so what I was thinking is that since I got inspired to do this in New York, I just want to put a very minimalist New York City skyline right here, around here, with the words New York. Let's get started with this. Now again, I'm a beginner. I'm definitely a beginner. And so I'm a little bit winging this as I go. But what I think I'm gonna do to get the actual New York skyline shape or outline that I wanna do, I was gonna make the outline in Canva and then print it off on the water soluble paper and then put it on here and then embroider that. However, I don't really want to do all that. So what I'm going to do is just look up the New York City skyline and freehand draw it on here. So we will see how that goes. Now, here's my dilemma where this freehand stuff might not work. There's some very, very complicated versions of the New York skyline where they put together, you know, just all the landmarks. So it's like the Statue of Liberty is very prominent, and then they have the Empire State Building and all of those things. That might get really complicated. I want to just have like a few buildings that are kind of easy to recreate. Otherwise, I'm definitely gonna have to go print this out. So I think I'm gonna do something like this because it seems kind of easy. Not too challenging, but a little bit challenging. And so I think this might be sort of my level of difficulty. So let's try to sketch it out. I'm just gonna do a pen because it'll wash off, like a very, very light pen. And then I'm going to start embroidering. So let's get to drawing first and I will update you as I draw. All right, so here is the finished outline. Obviously it's gonna look a lot better cleaned up, like with no pen and with embroidery and things like that. I messed up a little bit on the letters, so I'll clean those up as I'm stitching, but this is gonna be the outline of it. I'm very, very excited. I'm gonna try just like the outer outline. So if you notice like this, I probably won't be stitching this line, just the outer silhouette, and we'll see how this goes. I obviously also am going to wash and dry this to make sure it doesn't have any wrinkles or anything after I'm stitching it. Okay, so I have my string here, and this is the 6-stranded, you know, regular thread, and so I'm going to separate this out. Now, for cross stitching, I like to do 3 strands, but for embroidery, I don't really know. I think Sam only does 1 thread, and so I might just try that. I might put 2 together, but I'm just gonna start stitching with 1 and see how I like it and if I think it's dark enough. Let me thread my needle here. This is kind of a hefty needle also, so I might have gotten the wrong size for there. But okay, we'll start with this. I have just a little bit of a tail, and let's just start stitching. I'm going to start stitching from this bottom corner and then go around in just a back stitch, which, to be honest, this is one of my first times actually back stitching, so we will see how this goes. Oh, I should put this in a hoop. I'm gonna go get a hoop. Okay, I'm one thread done. Quick little update here, looking pretty good. I'm actually very pleased with how this is going, so let's keep it moving. Okay, the second string is done. Looking pretty good. I'm excited to see it when all the blue is washed out. Okay, we have made progress. All the outline is looking pretty good. Now I'm just gonna do the letters and then wash off all the pen. So, looking good. Okay, so I thought I was done with everything and I just need to wash it, but I see that my K looks so awkwardly small compared to like the other letters, so I guess I'm gonna go fix that because, yeah, maybe the freehand wasn't the best idea, but let's fix that. Okay, I think that K looks a lot better, but we'll see once I wash it, so let's go do that now. Okay, I rinsed it off. I'm just letting it dry now, and then I will model the bag. Okay, let's talk about how this went. So overall, I think this is really cute. I really like the minimalist design and how simple and easy it was to make. I would maybe not do the bottom line next time just to make it so it like kind of flows into the rest of the bag. The other thing I would do is use the water soluble paper, so like print it on the paper, stick that on here, and then rinse it off with water, because it was way harder to rinse off the blue pen marks as opposed to just the water soluble paper. I mean, it's invented for a reason, so like I'm gonna use it next time. Shouldn't have cut that corner. The other thing is this is kind of thin fabric on the actual tote bag, so if you catch it in the right light, you can kind of see the black string remnants on the back side. So I think I would just like cut out a little patch of fabric and sew through that so that the remnants of the tail are not seen through the bag in the right light. Overall, for the first embroidery project that I've done on a tote bag sort of thing, this is really cute and I'm definitely going to be using it. I'm going to call this a success. So I would highly recommend doing this project. Just make sure to use the water soluble paper and a patch on the back side if you decide to do it. And I was fine with actually just one thread. I didn't have to like double up the threads, and I think I like how thin it is and how cute that thin look is. So that's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Also go check out our Etsy channel, Stitch and Buffs, and follow us on Instagram at Stitch and Buffs. Like, subscribe, do all that, and I will see you next week for another episode. Bye everyone.